Finn was just a scrappy, ugly loser kid trying to save his beloved orphanage from shutting down and wanted fast cash to save his orphanage. So he marched into a casino, ready to gamble big. But instead of easy money, he got drafted into a squad of card lunatics on a mission to hunt down magical playing cards. Each card isn't just for poker, they unlock wild superpowers by awakening a buddy inside you. Finn's gamble wasn't about blackjack, it was about surviving a high-stakes hunt for the most dangerous deck in existence. Finn's just your everyday loser pickpocket smooth hands, quick feet, and a knack for swiping shiny things without anyone noticing. But when he finds out his orphanage, the only home he's ever known, is about to go belly up, he decides to hustle hard and save it. Problem is, all the stuff he stole turns out to be worthless knockoffs. Even the shady dealer he visits doesn't want to touch them. As Finn's about to pawn off his precious limited edition clothes, the dealer spots something in his pocket, a mysterious card. If it's real, it's worth millions. But Finn's like, nope, not selling. Turns out, this isn't just any card, it's the Two of Spades, a card that somehow brings him ridiculous luck. Naturally, Finn takes his lucky charm to the casino, aiming for the big leagues. But instead of raking in the cash, he keeps getting schooled by this dude, John, who only has to clap his hands to win. Finn's broke, baffled, and way too curious to let it go. Then, out of nowhere, John hits a jackpot on the slots, and the casino staff suddenly invite him and, awkwardly, Finn to the so-called VIP room. Spoiler, it's not champagne and blackjack tables, it's a sketchy warehouse. The casino boss thinks John's cheating and demands to see his gloves. When a bodyguard tries to snatch them, John just claps again, and the guy trips over his shoelaces and swan dives out a window. Before Finn can even blink, another guy, Bobby with the red hair, whips out a card and turns it into a glove. But instead of showing an employee ID, he grabs the boss's arm and snap it, crumbles into marbles. Guns are drawn, panic erupts, and in the chaos, another poor bodyguard's head pops into marbles too. Turns out, Bobby's not here to gamble, he's here for John's 10 of diamonds, a card that grants insane luck but can't protect loved ones. John reluctantly hands it over, just as yet another player enters the game. Chris, armed with a gun, and yep, his own card. Chaos levels hit maximum. Bobby tries to marble Chris, but Chris fires back literally. Then, revealing the power of his 5 of hearts, Chris starts overpowering Bobby. But Bobby's not done, he slaps a shelf, and suddenly everything he touches turns into marbles that fly like bullets. Chris dodges Finn's brain, short circuits from the madness, and he does what any smart thief would do, he bolts. Except he's already swiped Bobby's card. Bobby realizes the theft instantly and charges after Finn, flinging marbles left and right. Finn steals a car, Bobby follows, and Chris joins the chase. The whole thing ends in an epic crash, with cars exploding, everyone bloody but still alive. Chris demands the card back, but Bobby pops his head into marbles. Still, Chris somehow doesn't die. And Finn? He finally takes a gamble with his own 2 of spades. The card manifests into a revolver, blasting Bobby's marbles to pieces, and even landing a shot on him. Finn thought he was finally getting the hang of this whole magic card survival thing until Chris cornered him again and flat out warned, hand over your card now, or your life's about to turn into a nightmare. Before Finn could sass back, a car screeched up. Vines shot out like some evil plant monster, and he was out cold. When he woke up, his precious 2 of spades was gone, and standing over him was Bernard, the butler, with major, I know everything about you vibes. And he wasn't exaggerating, this guy had done a full background check, even counting Finn's relationships, which, let's be real, didn't take long. To make matters worse, Chris strolled in holding Finn's card like it was a toy. Finn lunged for it, but Chris shoved a gun in his mouth so fast, he almost tasted gunpowder-flavored lunch. Bernard then got to the point he wanted Finn to join their organization, Pinochle. Sounds like a card game, right? But nope, this group was dead serious. Their leader, Julius, literally the king of 4 nations, had ordered them to collect all 52 cards scattered around the world before mafias and psychos abused their power. Their cover business? Selling luxury vintage cars. Their real business? Packing more hidden weapons in their office than a video game armory. Chris sold the cars, Wendy handled security, VJ ran the online side, Bernard managed everything else, and now they wanted Finn to be the newbie. Finn wasn't exactly thrilled about joining the Justice League Dealer Edition, but Bernard made it clear if he didn't join, the Klondike family, yep, the mafia Bobby belonged to, would come after him. Considering they had cops and politicians in their pocket, Finn realized he didn't have much of a choice. After dangling the promise of fat paychecks, Bernard gave Finn back his 2 of spades and stuck Chris with babysitting duty. Their first stop? A suit shop, because apparently, assassins and card collectors need to dress sharp. While Chris picked out suits, Finn grilled him on how he was still alive after Bobby's marble trick blasted his head. Chris casually explained that his 5 of hearts lets him heal any injury, but the catch is, it burns calories like crazy. Translation: he's basically immortal as long as he keeps stuffing his face. While Finn sat waiting, a waiter spilled dessert on some angry rich guy, and Finn, trying to play peacemaker, almost got decked. Luckily, Chris stepped in, and together, they saved the poor waiter's job. The next morning, Chris picked Finn up for work, but Finn noticed perfume and an earring in the car, some mystery girl from yesterday. Before Finn could pry, they got their first mission: intercept an armored vehicle. Chris floored it. Police conveniently looked away, and Finn braced himself. Chris activated his immortal mode, Finn drew his revolver card, and things escalated fast. Just as Finn aimed for the tires, guess who showed up? The same timid waiter. Only now, he was built like steel. Bullets bounced off him. Chris nearly got his spine shattered, and their car plunged into the water. Finn panicked, but then something clicked. His card awakened again, letting him clearly see through the water. He fired just right, shattering a window so Chris could escape. Mission complete, kind of. The rest of the team? They just labeled Finn dead weight, the weakest card of the bunch. Finn barely had time to admire his sharp new suit before chaos kicked in. Because, of course, Trouble has a GPS locked on him. Right next to him, a kidnapping goes down. And instead of panicking like any normal kid, the victim, a rich boy named Leo, acts like getting snatched is just another boring Tuesday. Finn, being the accidental hero type, spots an electric car, jumps in, and pulls off a slick tire shot that sends the kidnapper's ride crashing. By the time the dust settles, Leo's vanished like Houdini. Turns out Finn dragged him into a restaurant for safety, but instead of a thank you, Leo hits him with a mind your business, loser. The two argue like bickering siblings. But before Finn can clap back, the kidnapper brothers catch up. Their backstory? They ran a small factory until Leo's dad cut ties, leaving them salty enough to turn to kidnapping. Finn gets pulled into their mess, and while Leo watches from the sidelines, helpful as a wet tissue, the cops arrive to break things up. Naturally, Leo's rich kid status gets him out fast, while Finn gets stuck in questioning until the kidnappers bust out, thanks to their fiery leader, Nyx. Nyx isn't just some angry thug, she's rocking the 7 of clubs, which lets her turn the place into a literal inferno. She torches the police station, then brings her flame circus to the subway, trapping Finn and Leo in what looks like a DIY barbecue pit. To avoid civilian casualties, they surrender. But let's be real, Finn isn't great at staying tied down. When the kidnappers push too far, Finn finally whips out his trusty 2 of spades, turning it into a revolver. He manages to smack around the brothers, but Nyx is on a whole other level. She melts his bullets like they're marshmallows, and poor Finn's left shooting blanks while getting roasted literally. Just when it looks like he's about to get toasted into skeleton form, Chris shows up like the cool big brother type, blocking Nyx's flames with his car. But Chris isn't the only surprise. He tosses a suitcase at Leo, and suddenly the spoiled brat reveals he's been hiding a killer ace up his sleeve. Leo whips out his special card ability, turning cold, hard cash into whatever weapon he wants. Guns, blades, you name it. Basically, if you've got money, the battlefield is your shopping cart. It's flashy, ridiculous, and perfectly suited for a rich kid who grew up swimming in banknotes. With a fat stack of bills, Leo smacks Nyx down and even manages to snag her 7 of clubs for himself. Finn and Chris, still catching their breath, realize the truth. Leo isn't just some pampered brat. They've been babysitting the son of the Pinocchio organization's president this whole time. Oh, and he's not just in the group. He runs his own franchise. Translation? This kid's rolling in power, influence, and enough cash to literally buy victory. Wendy might be part of Finn and Chris's squad, but let's be honest, she's not exactly the model employee. She drinks too much, shows up late like it's a lifestyle, and has the kind of meh relationship with her coworkers that screams office small talk only. So, when the organization gets a new mission, and she's told to sit this one out, Wendy's already fuming. Then the front desk phone rings, and instead of boring paperwork calls, it's straight up chaos, gunshots, screams, and oh yeah, Chris being taken hostage. Typical Tuesday, right? Chris, being Chris, isn't exactly helpless. He takes out one thug like it's nothing, but then he catches a bullet while shielding hostages. The criminals drag someone else along as a hostage and make their escape, but plot twist, Chris let it happen. It's all part of his big brain plan to gather intel. Meanwhile, Wendy isn't having any of this stay behind nonsense. She knows the higher-ups fear her power, but she refuses to sit at a desk while her team bleeds. She storms out, determined to fight. Out on the streets, Chris corners the getaway car, forcing the criminals into a dead end. Just when they think they're safe, the road erupts into a tangle of vines. VJ and his 3 of clubs at work. At the same time, Wendy swoops in, blocking their escape. The bad guys don't even stand a chance. Wendy slices through them with ease, but something's off. The criminals she just dropped, they look exactly like the hostages. That's when the real mastermind appears, a slick agent with the 4 of hearts, and his trick is cloning himself 4 times over. He's basically a one-man army of annoyances. chances. But Wendy doesn't flinch. She draws her demonic blade, and the air turns heavy with murderous intent. She's a whole different beast. Every strike is clean, final, and terrifying. Clones drop like flies. Finn, who's still playing catch-up, is baffled until Chris explains Wendy's ace of spades doesn't just boost her, it hijacks her mind, turning her into a cold, ruthless killing machine. Faced with that kind of raw destruction, the Clone Master folds fast. Just when the dust should have settled, Leo crashes the party, literally dropping a massive safe from the sky to trap Wendy. It works for about 2 seconds before she busts out and casually slices a helicopter in half. Suddenly, the fight against criminals turns into a messy civil war. Wendy's rage isn't just about the mission. She's tired of being treated like a monster, only useful in emergencies, but feared and avoided otherwise. She lashes out, nearly taking down Leo, until Chris steps in. Good thing Chris came prepared. He'd already activated his immortality trick. Otherwise, Wendy would have cut him down without blinking. With careful timing, Chris redirects her attacks and even manages to wrangle the cursed blade. Finn jumps in too, unloading bullets that finally knock the weapon from her hands. Wendy, furious and humiliated, spits out a chilling promise. The next time she sees Finn, she'll kill him. It's not just empty words. Wendy's father once warned her wielding the sword meant walking a lonely path. And in that moment, she feels it. No matter how many friends she has, the ace of spades isolates her, chaining her to solitude. Even back at the office, her life doesn't change much. She still rushes to catch the bus, trips, misses it, and gets teased for showing up late. But after this awakening, something new happens. Finn doesn't run from her. He promises he and the team will stand by her, no matter how terrifying her power is. And for the first time, Wendy feels like maybe, just maybe, she doesn't have to carry that loneliness alone. Sugar was glued to the security footage when she spotted Chris and thought, yep, something shady's going on here. She couldn't wrap her head around why every case tied to Pinocchio magically vanished from police files, like someone hit a cosmic delete button. Meanwhile, a jittery guy named John begged to speak with Young, but Young tossed the responsibility to Sugar. When she confronted John, he begged for Young directly because losing his card meant the Klondike Mafia would hunt him down like tomorrow's lunch. Sugar, being stubborn and surprisingly compassionate, promised he'd be safe under her watch. John agreed to spill all the tea on the Klondike, but only if he got witness protection. While Sugar set that up, Young gave Theodore a call about Pinocchio's mess. Theodore, in peak cryptic mode, dodged every straight answer and instead warned Young to be careful of the Klondike, calling them snakes who'll bite you even if you think you're friends. Young pressed for details about what happened in the palace incident, but Theodore ghosted him on that too. Sugar, on her end, trailed Pinocchio's employees, but couldn't find any link to the Klondike. Still, she wasn't the type to quit once her detective instincts started buzzing. Soon after, there was a fancy party at the Klondike mansion, and Young made an appearance. Outside, he bumped into Bobby and immediately roasted him for getting beaten by a rookie. Bobby, visibly steaming, couldn't clap back without making himself look worse. Inside the mansion, the guest list was stacked with celebrities and big shots. Meanwhile, Finn thought he was being tailed by a Klondike grunt, but was surprised when it turned out to be none other than Sugar. Van, the boss, eventually appeared and gave a grand speech to impress his guests. Then Tilt, one of his cronies, whispered something, and suddenly they rolled out a prisoner. When the bag came off his head, Sugar and Young's jaws dropped. It was John, the same guy who begged for protection. Without hesitation, B twisted John's head with raw power and killed him on the spot, proving once again that Klondike wasn't messing around. Sugar, rattled but focused, tried to escort Finn away, but their car got smashed by a floating school bus because apparently physics doesn't matter when you're fighting card users. A woman with an umbrella stepped out, and Finn immediately pulled out his card gun. The mysterious lady, Nachi, countered everything effortlessly, using telekinetic control to bend trash cans, weapons, and even Finn's own hand. She nearly forced him to shoot Sugar, only to spare them with a chilling warning: stay out of Klondike's business. Elsewhere, Young cornered B, demanding answers about the palace attack from a month ago. B was annoyingly calm and hinted that ever since that event, more card players had been surfacing. He even warned Young not to trust Theodore, throwing more fuel on the paranoia fire. Meanwhile, Sugar was spiraling after witnessing Finn and Nachi's abilities firsthand. Finn, unable to calm her, tied her to the car just to stop her panicking. By the next day, Young broke the grim news John's corpse had been found. Sugar was shocked, but Young assured her he still trusted her deeply. Later that night, Tilt assembled the entire Klondike crew, officially announcing John's death and commanding them to gear up for their next big mission. That's the end of the recap. Let us know if you want part 2 by leaving a comment in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel to avoid being virgin forever. See you guys in the next video.